Okay, this is take 6 of my defense questions. All right, now, the first question: what is asteroid mining, and why is asteroid mining important? Well, those are two questions. So let me just start with what is asteroid mining. Asteroid mining is the process of sending mining technology up into space through a spacecraft, finding asteroids that are rich in resources, very rich, and starting to mine on them to extract those resources and bring them back to Earth. Now, we mine those asteroids for their minerals, yes, and Earth's resources are finite, meaning we don't have an infinite amount of resources. For example, gold. It's not naturally formed on Earth. I believe in the very crust, the very center of Earth, maybe, but most of our gold is from asteroids or meteors hitting Earth, and that's where our gold comes from. It wasn't formed here; it's from space. So it would make sense if we got gold from space as well with mining technologies. This man named Yarlaga, he wrote Economics of the Stars, and it says the asteroid mining could fix our finite resource problem because space is almost infinite, at least of what we know, or I think it is infinite, or I'm not 100% sure, but it's close to infinite. I think it's really big. It's really big. That's what it is. So if it's really big, there's a lot of resources out there, way more than on Earth. So it makes sense to grab them from space if we run out of them here. Now, question 2. How could asteroid mining help the environment on Earth? Well, when we mine on Earth, there's a lot of instances where that mining on Earth is actually harmful to ecosystems on Earth and to just biomes and our atmosphere almost. So global warming is caused by the greenhouse effect, and mining on Earth contributes to that greenhouse effect because we use dirty energy, not clean energy, a lot of the times to mine on our own planet. And mining on our own planet, we disrupt the habitats of creatures and ruin it a lot. I know when we're mining for quartz, we have these huge mines that just take up so much space, and it just destroys and destroys. Yarlaga again says that mining in space supports clean energy. So if we use solar satellites, it's a clean energy. If the sun is right there, it's basically infinite until the parts start to wear and tear. So it's just so much more beneficiary if we just go into space to mine. Another issue, and I guess this could be technically environment, is where we get our resources on Earth are in undeveloped countries a lot of the times. So the Congo, they still use child labor. I think it might be illegal there even, but they can't enforce it. But they still use child labor to mine in the Congo. So a lot of the resources that we get for our phones, for our computers, for the TV, standing up there at Subway displaying the gorgeous menu it has, we get those resources from our planet, and a lot of the times it's in underdeveloped countries. So the Congo uses children a lot of times to do their dirty labor there, and that could be fixed by not mining on Earth, leaving those places alone, stopping the industry there, and bringing it to space where we could have more jobs that aren't done by children to mine those asteroids in space. Now, the third question here is, what kinds of resources can we get from asteroids? Well, gold doesn't form on Earth, unless it does in the very, very crust. I'm not sure. But it usually comes and impacts Earth through asteroids and meteors. And there is this asteroid, I believe, between Mars and Jupiter in the asteroid belt called 16 Psyche, and it has a lot of gold. I believe more gold than we have on this planet. So metals like gold, like platinum, aluminum, silver, we could find in space and bring them home to help support our rapidly growing industries of technology, of everything, cars, everything. Yeah, so 16 Psyche, the asteroid between Mars and Jupiter, is worth about $1 quintillion worth of gold. It has $1 quintillion worth of gold, apparently, allegedly. That's what size.org says. And rare earth metals are used to make everyday items like our phones and our computers and our cars. So we can use those metals to just make everything cheaper almost. And we can use those resources also to make, because it makes everything cheaper, it means we could exponentially expand deep space mining. It could just keep growing forever and ever until the human race burns out. Our next question is, how much money could asteroid mining make? And my answer is a lot. And size.org also says a lot. It says it estimates trillions of dollars could be made from deep space mining. And I'm not sure what time period that is, but I think it's, once again, exponential, where the longer we do it, or maybe linear, the longer we do it, the more money we make. Yarlaga says 16 Psyche, an asteroid between Mars and Jupiter, is worth about $700 quintillion. It's filled with many, many resources, and it has a huge abundance in gold in particular. Mining would change the cost of everyday items. Your phone, inside of it are lots of precious rare earth metals. That's why it's super expensive. It's because we don't have infinite of those earth metals, or we don't have infinite of those resources on Earth. So if we go to space and start mining, since space is pretty big, we will have a lot more of those resources, making items like our phones way cheaper. A phone you could pick one up for $20 maybe instead of $1,000. Question 5. What technology do we need to mine asteroids? Well, right now, the people of Earth have been developing technologies in AI, which is one of the things that we do need to travel to space, because it would be way more efficient to have AI travel to space than to have humans go to space, because then you would need spacecrafts with toilets and food, and it's people end up dying, so you can't have them there forever. You'll have to bring them back eventually. But if you have AI, you could send it there and it could be there indefinitely. What technology do we need again? We need better robotics. We need better spacecrafts that are more efficient. We need better spectrometers, better cameras. And space.com says we need better technology for solar power, because if we are going to go into space, the most efficient way to have a satellite, a spaceship, a drill last for a long time is by using solar energy, because the sun, it's right there and it's got a lot of energy that it could give us. Right now, we are currently spending a lot of money on robotics and AI, and so far it looks like it has been successful. I believe a couple months ago, SpaceX launched a probe to scout out potential asteroids that could have a huge amount of profit for the mining business. Question 6. How are companies and NASA working on asteroid mining today? Well, 2 months ago, SpaceX launched the Odin probe on February 26. And this probe surveys asteroids for possible resources. So it goes up there, kind of goes around the asteroids, goes in not orbit, but just goes around the asteroids and scans the potential areas for a rich amount of resources. So say I mean, gold isn't infinite on Earth, so it could scan for gold. And if we find a huge abundance of gold, then we could start thinking about sending drills up there, mining it, and bringing it back so it can fix that finite gold issue that we have. Space.com says that TransAstra is building technology to lower the cost of these space missions. So the satellites, the probes, the drills, the spacecrafts, it would all be so much more efficient if those technologies were easier and cheaper and used fewer resources to build them, because then we could just get there quicker, and maybe in my lifetime I could help mine asteroids. Question 7. What are some challenges to making asteroid mining happen? Well, one of the challenges is high cost. Yarlaga says a project, there was $1 billion spent on a project, and it had very little return. It had very little impact on the future of space mining as a whole, and we basically kind of wasted $1 million. It kind of went to waste. Another challenge would be legal issues. What are the laws of space? We don't know yet, or I don't think so. I know that the moon is for everyone, but asteroids, like say the USA starts mining an asteroid, and they're mining it and making huge gains, but then China comes along and they start mining the asteroid too, but they do it more efficiently. The USA is probably going to be like pissed off and start like a space war, or some could say a star war. And then we'll have that issue where we have foreign or global, I guess, would it be galactical wars? I don't know. Another issue we have is the technology just isn't there yet. Yes, we are making huge progress in AI and robotics. I've seen it all over social media and stuff. But even then, we're not just ready to just send a drill up there and just start mining and fixing our finite resource problem. Question 8. How might mining change the economy on Earth? Okay, so according to size.org, rare metals are expensive right now. They're rare. They're not in abundance. But if we start asteroid mining, so what was the asteroid called? It was called 16 Psyche. It has $700 quintillion worth of resources. And if we start bringing those resources back, it's going to crash the markets. It's going to crash our economy. It's going to reshape the global economy as a whole. Yarlaga says that 16 Psyche could give, theoretically, everyone $93 billion. But realistically, if everyone has $93 billion, no one has $93 billion, because then you wouldn't work if you have $93 billion, and someone's got to work, right? So it would change the global economy, because if you have say there's 5 diamonds in the world. Those diamonds, they're rare. They're very rare because there's only 5 in the world. And so in turn, they would be very, 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 very expensive. But if you have 1 trillion diamonds in the world, they're not that rare. Maybe you could use them as even a currency because they're not that rare. So it's just going to mess up the global economy as a whole. Another way it could impact the economy is the space industry could grow. If you're starting to mine, you might have mining bases on different asteroids, and people could work there or work from home, maybe coding and directing the AI on what to do next. So it would create a whole new industry for countries to invest in and take part of, and for technologies to become part of. Another thing it could impact on the economy is job opportunities. I know right now, computer science, people get the degree and they don't have jobs because like there's a lot of people in computer science and then AI is taking that over. Engineering, you could be an engineer and there could be a job opportunity for you if we start taking the space mining thing very seriously. You could work on designing the probes, the spaceships, the drills, or maybe the physical labor. You could help like move around stuff. I don't know. But the point is that this new industry would create a whole bunch of jobs. Question 9. How does asteroid mining support space exploration? Well, first off, if we mine asteroids and we bring back materials, it will make it cheaper for us to travel into space again because we brought back a whole bunch of materials that we might have finite of on Earth. Space.com says it will make space travel cheaper due to the lessened cost of materials needed. Like I said, the technology needed to mine is also the technology needed to travel to space. So if we want to mine an asteroid, we're going to need a spaceship to get there. But we also might need a spaceship to make an X-Wing. I don't know. So, yeah. Question 10. What does the Odin probe mission tell us about asteroid mining's future? Well, one thing is for certain, and it's definitely showing us that asteroid mining is moving from a theoretical idea to an actual possibility because we are taking actions with this Odin probe thing. Sky News says its results could show us if mining is worth it or not. Maybe I'm talking and researching all this for nothing. Maybe there was like this secret thing where you just can't do it. It's not possible. Or maybe it will tell us that it is possible and it's easy and it will come in the near future. Who knows? But yeah, that's the end of my questions. Thankfully, this one's longer than 12 minutes this time. It looks like it's 17 minutes. And if you're wondering why I look down every once in a while, I have these little note cards to keep me on track. But thank you.